we're calling our school Earth Academy, and the inspiration came from a couple different places. One is, I don't know if you guys have heard of Earth ships. Has anyone heard of these before? I saw a documentary quite a few years ago, and it's this interesting movement in the Midwest of people that are building these homes out of completely recycled materials, and they're building them into like the sides of hills and cliff sides, and they're essentially becoming like one with their environment. They use like recycled tires inside the walls for insulation. Really fascinating movement. So in terms of the structure, that was one of our big things, was kind of tapping into that idea and thinking about sustainability in the future. And then we wanted to couple that with technology to have this like synthesis of technology and environmental sort of conscientiousness. So our structure, our layout, our curricula are all based on this idea of like synthesizing the need for sustainability in terms of the environment and being environmentally conscious and being sort of conscious of the technologies and tools available. So we sort of set up like a typical classroom in terms of the indoor classroom setting and the outdoor classroom setting. The indoor classroom setting, you can see sort of we have like the bio wall as the back wall. We envision a lot of glass on the exterior. We made it just wireframe now so you can see the inside. Lots of technology inside, so like a big front screen, similar to the ones that you guys showed for the D School. A big screen that the teacher has access to, interactive kind of thing. Students sitting in small groups working together. We envision having space inside for kind of like free work time, similar to kind of Google's model of the 20% free time that we discussed yesterday. And then also the outdoor classroom, thinking about having courses and work in horticulture, learning agriculture, learning how to interact responsibly with your environment. And then the school being sustainable in terms of energy consumption as well, so we envision like lots of solar energy, wind energy, and that all being part of not just the school structures, but also the programs that the kids participate in, the coursework, the curricula for the science and engineering portion of their learning.
And potentially a substitution for funding structures as well, because if we manufacture enough, we could sell the energy that we are producing.
Yeah.
So maybe as an alternative to that funding structure. Matt?
Sure.
So we envision this to be a high school, so we're going to use that idea of 9 through 12 just for the purpose of this first draft. A school of choice. So this is not, we don't see this as a ubiquitous model. We see this as people that want to participate in this. Some more of the technology you see are wireless towers that are providing wireless internet to our students. You see that in our exterior model we have a movable roof here for 4 seasons to be able to use our gardening space all 4 seasons. We also have talked about the need for students to have more experiential learning, not just in this space. So we envision that 9 through 12 to not be necessarily 4 years. Something that I see in K-12 is I see sometimes we're sending you, and probably more often than not, we're sending up to higher ed students that don't have a real clear vision of what they want to do, where they want to go, and what they want to study. So we have kicked around a little bit the idea of keeping the students for 5 or 6 years, but that extra time being spent out in the world, whether it's through experiential learning, internships, externships, that sort of thing, where they can interact with the world and then come back and focus their education in higher ed.
Location for this school really could be anywhere. You might assume that it has to be in the countryside, but the reality is anywhere where we can draw from an environment or a location where we have strong sun, strong wind. We really, this doesn't have to be this doesn't have to be soil or grass. As long as we can draw from the benefits of the earth, it could be a real wall where we can replicate all of these things. So.
Very deliberate in some of these things. This wall, it's hard because of the bio wall. This wall was built to be movable, so
yeah.
We can create spaces within our open space. We intentionally left no divider in the middle. It's meant to be open. The tables are intentionally round to promote collaboration, collaborative work. So some of those things are very deliberate in this model.